The Mystara project is proud to present Part 5 of the Black Coast campaign. As they promised at the Green Dragon Inn on the previous evening, the adventurers meet outside Fizpun's supplies in the city of Portown. The adventurers enter the shop. The interior of Fizpun's supplies is cluttered but cozy. Shelves are stacked with rope, rations, torches, and all manner of adventuring gear. The air smells of leather, oil, and dried herbs.
That man by the counter. He looks like he knows his way around the wilds.
Or around a thieves' guild. That's Quat. I've heard of him.
Ho there, friend. You look like someone who's seen the road's rough side. Name's Berkeley. My companions and I are forming a company of adventurers. Care to join us?
Depends. I've had enough of shady work and broken promises. What's your aim?
To prove our worth to the immortals. And perhaps do some good along the way.
Well, we've all got our reasons, but we all could benefit from gaining more skill and the odd coin.
I've heard something. A noble's daughter, Lemunda the Lovely, has gone missing. Lord Hagkun's offering a reward to anyone who can bring her back.
Do you know where she was last seen?
Rumors say she vanished near the old coastal ruins. Some say pirates. Others whisper darker things.
Sounds like a job for people who know how to stay quiet and strike fast.
All right. I've made mistakes. But I've got skills, and I want to make things right. If you'll have me, I'll join you.
Welcome aboard, Quat. With your bow and our array of talents, we'll find Lemunda, and maybe a bit of glory too.
At the bustling counter of Fizpun's supplies, 6 adventurers gathered, their coin purses lightened by careful choices. Though provisions were offered, they declined rations, confident their forays into danger would be swift and strategic. Ambil, nimble and resourceful, selected a short sword and sling with 30 sling stones. For protection, leather armor hugged close. Ambil's pack included a 50-foot rope, 2 small sacks, a grappling hook, small hammer, 12 iron spikes, and a waterskin, tools for scaling, sneaking, and surviving. Berkeley, the stalwart, chose a normal sword and sling, also with 30 sling stones. Clad in plate mail and bearing a shield, Berkeley was ready for the front lines. His gear included a 50-foot rope, backpack, 10-foot wooden pole, oil flask, waterskin, tinderbox, and 5 torches. Berkeley looked like a veritable walking fortress with fire and light. Quat, the keen-eyed archer, armed himself with a normal sword and long bow, with 20 arrows in a quiver case. Chain mail offered balance between speed and safety. A 50-foot rope, backpack, and waterskin completed the kit, lean, mobile, and lethal from afar. Saudara, the arcane trickster, carried a dagger and sling with 30 sling stones. Her backpack held wolfsbane, a spellbook, 4 oil flasks, waterskin, and a lantern, tools of magic, misdirection, and mystery. Temak, the devout warrior, bore a mace and sling with 30 sling stones. Encased in plate mail and shielded, Temak also carried a backpack, holy symbol, and waterskin, a crusader prepared for both battle and benediction. Triac, hammer-wielding and resolute, chose a war hammer and sling with 30 sling stones. Like Temak, Triac wore plate mail, bore a shield, and packed a backpack, holy symbol, and waterskin, a mirror of might and faith. Together, they stepped from Fizpun's with gear gleaming and spirits high. No rations, no hesitation, just steel, spell, and purpose. Fully kitted out, the party leaves through the wind gate in the west of the city. Looking to the north, the adventurers see the ruined tower on the sea cliffs. The city graveyard lies to the east of the ruins. The adventurers make their way up the hill to the ruins. There they see stairs leading down into the darkness. Saudara lights her lantern, and the party descend. The heavily armored Berkeley and Triac form up the front rank. Quat and Timon follow, and the rear is brought up by the unarmored Saudara and the lightly armored Ambil. The party comes to a crossroads. Berkeley declares he has a policy of always going left. The party enters a creepy room with 4 dark alcoves and numerous spider webs. Suddenly, 4 skeletons burst out of the alcoves, surprising the party. Triac commands the undead to begone in the name of the Earthmaster. The skeletons attacking Quat and Ambil flee in fear. The surviving skeletons advance toward Triac. So Saudara repositions behind Berkeley, but misses with her sling. Triac is missed by the first skeleton, but is struck from behind by the other. Triac turns around, but misses with his war hammer. Ambil's sling shot also goes wide. Timon draws on her faith in the Air Master, forcing the remaining skeletons to flee. Once the skeletons are out of sight, Berkeley rushes over to tend to Triac's wounds. Berkeley puts his training with the Priest of Elemental Elevation to good use, curing half the damage Triac suffered. Triac assures the others he is okay to continue. The party leave the skeleton room and head south into a large empty room with doors to the east, south, and west. Naturally, Berkeley turns left, going through the eastern door. The gloomy room beyond is littered with 4-foot piles of garbage and rocks. Suddenly 5 giant rats leap out of the garbage piles and attack. Berkeley now has 3 patients to treat. He rushes to Ambil and manages to fully heal her wounds. Next he again tends to Triac. Unfortunately, he only heals the minimum amount. Finally, Berkeley inspects Quat's minor bite wound. He successfully treats the wound, restoring Quat to full health. After tending to their wounds, the party does a quick scout of the room, but finds nothing. Then they decide to press forward through the east door, which is the leftmost of the 2 exits. A corridor leads east before turning north and leads to a door. The party enters an empty room with only one exit to the north. The party heads north through the door. Beyond the door is a room occupied by 2 foul-smelling humanoids with long tongues. The creatures are in the process of ripping apart coffins and are surprised at the party's interruption. Quat is struck and paralyzed by a ghoul. Tragedy. The ghoul ruthlessly slays the helpless Quat. Berkeley's sword finishes off the ghoul and the fight, just a moment too late for Quat. Well, on that sour note, we shall conclude Part 4 of the Black Coast campaign. Find out if the adventurers can make it to safety without further tragedy in our next episode.